All right, what did I do? I have done gone live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am with you and you are with me. And I'm under a tornado warning. And so I was like, what the heck? I'll go live. Dorothy, smoke 'em if you got 'em. All right, Matt Lanza bringing it to us with congratulations, Houston. You did it. 0 days since the last holiday with calm weather in Houston. Yeah, things are crazy. Hello, AK-47. How are you guys doing? I'm feeling a bit like Dorothy on this Halloween, although I'm not dressed up and I do not smell as good as she does, I would imagine. At this point, I imagine everybody smells better than I do. I'm like right here, somewhere right in here, and we got a bunch of tornado warnings popping up. Stay safe. Hell no! Have you been here for 2018, man? Earth is no party, and there's like nowhere you can go and have fun. There's like not a single place you can go to that people are going to be telling jokes and having a good time. Everybody's going to be talking about politics and voting. Like, holy shit, I better send my vote in before the tornado ransacks everything I own. See, that situation getting hit by a tornado and dying wouldn't really bother me. If the tornado blew through and fucked up my car, then, but it didn't hurt me, I'd be like, fuck! You know what I'm saying? And that wouldn't surprise me in 2018. There would be a tower moment that I didn't see coming, like, holy shit, I had not planned for a tornado to hit my car. What a dumbass I was. Oh yeah, and another thing, since I'm live and I'm right here and all this earthquake tornado energy is around me, I might be acting crazy. Yeah, so I apologize. And I love you guys. Life is crazy. 2018 is crazy. And shit, what a shitty year. Although I love you. And what a shitty month. It's about to get better in like 2 weeks. Everybody buckle in and smoke 'em if you got 'em. All right, I'm going to go open my windows so you can hear the thunder better. I had not planned this out properly, and so you're going to have to forgive me for not planning that shit out properly, man. I didn't know we were going to get hit by a tornado. I slept. Does this work? Can you guys hear it? Wait. I'm only going to do this for a second. Do-do-do. If it doesn't work, I'm sorry. Remember, there's a tornado shit going on, so I'm going to go open my windows and tell me if you can hear this.
And I want you to take a look at the moment at the State Department. There you see it. That's when the power went out.
You know what they mean. Rare, seldom, even absurd. According to modern folklore,
let's recap our stories. Washington, D.C., the Capitol, the White House, Pentagon, Department of Defense all lost power for a couple of hours. Venus was photographed by an amateur astronomer as being blue.
Maybe the environment is a little sick.
People know who the F I is. I'm a pro. The right time and place for me to be. I'll say it.
Stay cool. This is a THORNEWS presentation. THORNEWS presents...
What's going on? Nobody knows.
And this is not a time for ideological purity. I'm a free market, a non-interventionist, but we face a crisis.
You out of your mind? Everything you say upsets somebody.
Open my window.
But at the end of the day, this isn't about wall.
Okay, we're back to the hurricane. Wait, tornado. Okay. Could you hear that? I don't even know. Okay, if you were in Houston with me, hey, look, that is a giant storm. Let us click back to full time. I'm about here. And so I think the tornado supercells are spinning up somewhere around. You call this a storm? I'm live. And sometimes I can feel the energy. So it's like there's a lot of tornado energy around, or wind energy. I had to close my front door. Storms for Halloween on track as the ghoul front moves towards Houston. Yes, we said ghoul front. our sugar high started early, okay? And I gotta warn you guys, I was working on that video all night long, and I passed out. I slept for like 10 hours. A buddy called and woke me up, and then I was in a really bad mood. So, that is what I'm going for as Halloween. I'm going as male Dorothy in a really bad mood. So if that is the type of shit you want to be around for your Halloween, then by all means, Buttercup. That is a Princess Bride reference. And you know, I wonder if a tornado does hit and I die and I go to heaven, I wonder if I'll check back, see how many people down thumbs this video. That's a joke. Life is weird. Am I going mad? You just wiggle your finger. That's wonderful. Tornado on Halloween, inconceivable. Storms for Halloween on track as a ghoul front moves towards Houston. Yes, we said ghoul front. Our sugar high started early, okay? Could you guys hear that when I played it? Did it have decent audio when I tried to show you guys the video? Man, and I gotta tell you, I've been kind of depressed because they're talking about Brexit, and then some dude that had like grayscale showed up and was like, "We are postponing the transition." And I was like, dude, no way. Because there's like a transition from the old past, like the last 5,000 years, where you sell people their time back to them, and you tax them and fine them and fee them and throw them in jail and then make them all war with each other and shit. Right, that old system based on debt and credit, you know, double bookkeeping. That whole system that we've been going through for 5,000 years, where like they just get to beat the crap out of everybody all the time. We're supposed to be transitioning to like a new system, the future. We got jetpacks and space shuttles, and you can clean the oceans, and you can make giant new cities, and you can do all this amazing stuff, right? But you can't have giant profit margins like they do now. Like, you can't have one dude own 72% of all the shit in the world. If he does, he's got to share it all, or half of it. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So when they were like, oh, no, we're going to delay the transition, because they've estimated that, like, they can keep this theater of war up for 35 more years. They can keep distracting you guys with politics and porn stars that, you know, and lawyers and funerals and shit for 35 more years. And I'm like, hell no, I can't make it 35 more years, man. And Earth can't make it either. Like 60% of all the animals have died since 1970. I was like, oh, great. That's going to be a fun fucking story to report on. How many dogs and horses have I lost in the last 10 years? A lot, dude. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, tornadoes. So I'm down here. Oh, yeah, there's me. And then I'm over here. And I'm going to be not looking at the comments much until after. I'm going to let you guys have an energetic free-for-all in the chat channel. Because the whole thing about, like, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but I have been censored and targeted and fucked with ever since I started this YouTube channel. And it only really increases the better I do and the weirder it gets. And so, I don't know, they just got the fuck rid of Alex Jones. You know, like, they deplatformed him everywhere. And then they started deplatforming his money. Like, oh yeah, you can't use PayPal. You can't use... And I was like, whoa. You know, here, I don't believe in politicians or politics. And I don't believe this system is going to work. Because we need a new one of the future to deal with all this shit. And so I stay down the middle as much as I can and be like, hey, y'all, let's try and survive through all these weird earth weather changes. And no fucking one man does not control the weather, all right? No one man or one group controls all of the weather on Earth. Mankind is not bigger than the solar system. Mankind is not bigger than the moon. Mankind is not bigger than the sun. So no one man or group controls the weather. No one man or group controls the earthquakes or the volcanoes or the oceans. That is what I believe. And for 6 fucking years, I've been providing evidence. Like, let's go to the mean sea level fucking pressure map, man. I guess for Halloween, I'm going as an angry dude. Tell me, like, you watch this shit every day. And tell me, if you had to control all the blue, which is the low pressure, and the white, which is the high pressure, it's like when Mars lost its atmosphere, man. I'm sure a lot of people are saying, oh, dude, group number 6 has full control of the weather. And it wasn't until the big battle went down, they found out that it was a fucking lie. It's like apocalypto. When I tell y'all, oh, hey, motherfuckers, all planets on the same side of the sun with orbital angular momentum makes a difference. People are like, no, it's carbon. No, it's geoengineering. Well, if it's a circle and you needed to be kind of balanced in the orbital circle, and I have been alive for 46 years, I have walked outside and looked at the sun, looked at the moon, looked at Mars, looked at Jupiter, looked at Saturn, looked at Orion almost every day of my life. Although lately, I've been more of a hermit. And so I know that they go around the earth. I can't explain everything, can't figure it all out. But I know that the moon has always been there for me. The sun has always been there for me. The stars have always been there for me. The planets have been there for me. As a man who's lost 2 fathers. So to have fucking human beings always tell me how fucking powerful human beings are when they aren't that powerful. No single man can go stand out in the middle of a fucking ocean and feel like Superman, invincible. And you definitely can't go 10 miles down in the water without any type of equipment and fucking be invincible. No group is invincible and no group controls everything. And a good chance that a lot of the weird weather we are seeing and the changes in the sun are coming because all of the bodies, and remember, it's a giant, weird ball of like magic lights. And those lights have mass because light is magic. Oh, man, this video went different than I expected. But it's Halloween. And now I hear a horn in the background. But it got all super silent and quiet and calm. Maybe I absorbed the energy. Anyway, yeah, so they deplatformed fucking Alex, man. And then they went after Gab, and it's just weird when they like shut down like your PayPal. Like, I work for Google/YouTube. YouTube made it cool, and then once they got it really cool, Google bought it. And like nobody did research apparently on artificial intelligence on the books they wrote in the 80s and 90s when they laid out the Trojan horse programs like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. They would have specific people types that they would look for, break it down. And so all the super talented people, like let's say I was one of those, the cool people, the best way to find them would be on YouTube. And so like they're literally doing like the AI-ish program. But there's a lot of fibbiness in AI as well. What am I talking about? Yeah, weather. And here's the deal. It's like every time I talk, people yell at me like, no, here's what's really happening. Well, man, make your own video. You know, like I've been doing this for 5 years and been pretty fucking accurate. And this is a giant rain band. Hey, man, the Rain Man of rain bands. And that is a giant rain band. At the top of it, you got ice and snow. At the bottom of it, you got lightning. and tornadoes, possibly. I don't know. I'm not doing a great job of reporting this, staying calm. But like I said, it's been a hell of a 2018. It's been a hell of an October. And I'm under attack all the time. I'm doing pretty well, though. That's why I couldn't have just been Thor, and I couldn't have just been a Star-Lord. I had to combine the two to make it through whatever the fuck 2018 is, man. Just shodden fruit all the time. People run around, votes can solve everything. Well, there have been like 54 midterm elections in the 200-ish years that we've been here. And how many problems did midterm elections solve those 54 times? And why do we keep looking to a 230-year-old system to work? Like literally, it was in the last century, like the 1900s to the year 2000. Last night I was trying to figure out what white people are, because I'm like 95% Norwegian. I was like, are Greek people white? Are Romans white? Like, I think the Germans and the Norwegians they have different traits. And like, so I don't even know, man. Like, technically I fall under the white umbrella. And so I caused everything, though I'm broke and getting the shit kicked out of me all the time on the front lines. I'm still a white male, and I apologize. It's like every skin color of all of us somehow. It's like we all get to play the bag holder. We're like, well, it's all our fault. And I get it. And I understand that during the 1900s and to the 2000s when the white people had the power, they were not as cool. But I was watching a lot of videos on the pyramids that were, like 4,000, 5,000 years old, and they had total civilizations, and they built the Incan pyramid. Wait, they had a story about that's why I'm pulling all this shit. They had a story about they found a giant underground city underneath one of the Mexican, the city that created the gods or whatever. It's a really cool place. Like, we don't build cool shit like this hey, we might not be here, but the building will last. We go backwards. Anyway, so I was pulling all these videos off of archive.com on the pyramids. Yeah, dude, if there's something you want to do that's going to be like, oh, just what the hell? Like, we're in civilization retrograde. And so if you go back to all the cool shit they did back 4,000 years ago, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, they had a space shuttle 4,000 years ago. Or, batteries and the fact that their cities are still standing. I mean, look at the way we built our cities. It's like you take Italy, which is now underwater, has some of the greatest sculptures and architecture. I've never been there, but I've heard and I've seen a lot of pictures. And I love good architecture. I love to walk around cities and look at buildings, because the manpower and woman power that goes into like creating a giant structure like that will last is an art I will always respect. And so like they used to build really great stuff back then. And so during the like 50 to 2000, we became the like McDonald's, Starbucks, pre-Amazon. Like, no, we're only going to we're not going to build cool buildings. Everything is going to be done by zoning and profit margin incentives. So you will get some cool buildings, but it's still not what architecture was intended to be. And that across our globe, those giant pyramidal structures they create, like I don't think if a hurricane hit the pyramid, I don't think it would destroy the pyramid in Mexico. Like, it is designed to withstand X amount of pressure or force. And there's this whole thing where we're trying to get the 52 secret society groups to all agree to go into the future and everybody work together instead of destroy everybody like on Mars. That you got to get everybody to give up a lot of the good ideas to everybody and build cool stuff. And so part of that is like, oh yeah, underground. Like, that is, if we built underground, we had some real estate underground available to the public, that when you had hurricanes coming in, literally everybody's just like, all right, here's what you do. You go underground. And the hurricane or the tornado passes, you were underground and you lived. Like, the fact that, we spent, $60 trillion. What do we get? A bunch of angry people all the time on social media at home on their phone that they're paying $100 for every month, on top of their cable, on top of their internet, on top of their car insurance, on top of their gasoline, What was it talking about? Oh yeah, giant storm. Happy Halloween, y'all. I went as a crazy guy with a YouTube channel, but I'm a cranky old man. I'm like a combination of THORNEWS and David Letterman, or cranky weather guy. Yeah. And so, there's this guy, you guys may freak out, called the Leo King. And he talks about astrology because, you know, the hidden, what is it, the hidden knowledge. They want you to look at your phone. They don't want you to look at the planets. They don't want you to look at the stars. They don't want you to look at the moon. They don't want you to think about shit you can't figure out. That if they can't have a science community come on and explain it to you in 2 sentences, they don't want you thinking about it. Right? Right. And so, just like with anything, like I would guess half of science is lies and half of science is truth. Astrology is probably the same thing, man. And that planets definitely have energies, and even going across all the pyramid and old civilization videos, that everybody was like, all right, yeah, Mars is angry and he likes war. Doesn't matter, like, whether it be 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, whatever civilization it was, when they looked at Mars, they were like, man, Mars sure likes to fight. And so, that's interesting. And Venus has always been associated with, like, the divine, like the female spirit, the divine. You know, you go out, like, you got the sun and Mercury, like the sun and the moon. You can male, female, however you want it. It's a duo. They're one, but two. And then so after Mercury, you got Venus. It's like, then you get the female. Then you get Earth, which is like a mini star since it has a moon too. And you add a little star inside of Earth. I don't know if you knew that. It's true as we know it. That's where the volcano shit comes from. As the sun continues to, okay, what it is you have like solar wind and coronal mass ejections. That's like the sun's titty giving aurora milk and plasma and protons charged into, like the mouth is the top aurora and the bottom aurora of Earth. So that's how it feeds. So the energy between the sun is like the milk from a boob to a baby. That makes sense? But it's plasma. That's different than milk, man. Like, you can't go to the store and buy a chocolate plasma drink. Or, you know, I know when I was in college, I used to have to go give plasma, you know, to afford beer and cigarettes. That was always weird, dude. They're like, yeah, we're taking your, you know. Man, I don't know if you guys know this. Poor people get the shaft. Yeah, so everybody's been trying to, you know, fighting a thing about, like, all right, who's the biggest victim in 2018? Which group? And then poor people always get the shaft, man. Poor people. Okay? That's where THORNEWS is at. Yes, at this point, I can't put any faith in politicians or politics. And yes, I think corporations, the people aren't evil, but the idea of, like, collect everything you can and win at all costs. If you got more than 10 groups that are on the same page, it becomes a dangerous hydra that could wipe out civilization in a slow collapse that is horrible. Then you got the 6 and the 13. I don't know. It's 2018. How many hours are left in this month? I'm live. Is this still working? Is anybody still here? This is fascinating. Maybe I'm going to get fired. Be like, hey, THORNEWS, as Planetary Defense Commander, you suck. But no, I tried to do great, but fuck, shit was all complicated. And then I was prepared for time machine shit. But when they had the D-Wave, where they had to, like, they quantum all timelines and they could go back and forth across side to side, I was like, oh shit, I wasn't prepared for this. Lord, help me now. You know? So yeah, dang. I thought usually the way you get fired as Planetary Defense Commander, it's like King of the Hand. You just get killed. If you're lucky, you know, it's like, what, the Queen and Jaime on Game of Thrones. Where they, I don't know, I wouldn't want to say they respect each other, but there was an honor code, like, they did their best for the family, and the Lannisters won at that point, or the Sissy won. And so, painless. She got to die painlessly. Unlike Joffrey. Yeah, what a great show. Best television show, or best show thingy movie of all time. Like that whole best ever. Daenerys. Okay. Jon Snow eventually got to cuddle again. What was it talking about? I don't even know. Yeah, Magnetic Unrest, Halloween Memories. Great Space Pumpkins. There's like the whole Sam Hain thing and like witches. And it's been the witchy month. And I'm Norwegian. I'm a Norse Christian Jedi. We're all going to argue about shit. Yeah, I'm a Norse Christian Jedi, man. And so it's like the Wizard of Oz. You got good witches and you got bad witches. Because like by being 90-ish% Norwegian, my grandmother raising me on Christianity and the Norse myths, like as a baby, you know, it's just I feel like an American Indian, where like you're Christian and you still respect the American Indian beliefs at the same time, and then you got like 94% of the other religions out there in the earth that are going to say you're doing it wrong, you know. I'm like, fantastic. Well, apparently, looking at the state of the world, almost everybody's doing it wrong. Although I think we're going to be okay. It's getting a bit bumpy, and who knows what's going to happen up into the election and after. But I think Thanksgiving and Christmas are going to be cool, man. Yeah, here's our sun. And if you've been going outside during the day or night, you can know that the sun has been changing. The sky has been changing. So much so that, yeah, I got no clue what is going on. And that's what is craziest about life. You know, I'm like 46 in Earth years in 2018, which according to social media is like 112. So that's cool. But I can definitely say the sky keeps changing. And I never thought growing up, having to go on to high school and college, technically I went to college twice, that I would be more confused as I got older. Like, what the hell is going on? How does this shit work? Wait, was I lied to? I'm 46 and I feel like dumber than I was 20 years ago. And not that I'm not good at learning shit, it's just the goalposts are moving. There are a lot of goalposts, and they're always moving. You know, it's like the shell game. Like, no, this is the real deal. Like, oh, shit. So, yeah, we're looking at the sun. That's a giant coronal hole. It starts out looking like that asteroid's cursor or spaceship. I should get a beer. I think the storm passed. See what I did? I absorbed all the energy. And I probably, lost like 22% of a lot of the jobs in the future. When they pulled this video up on social media, they're like, you were screaming at everybody. Do you want, we can't have you screaming at everybody here at Barnes & Noble. Okay. I worked at a bookstore. Wait, what were we doing? For like 5 years in Houston, no, technically Sugar Land, and then in Arlington. Would have been the perfect job, dream job, except the customers. Sometimes people were mad, especially over coupons. If they misread the coupon and you had to tell them that as a register, you would get yelled at almost immediately every time. Anywho, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. The artificial intelligence is now machine learning, and it knows everything about you. So when they feed it in all your information into the AI app, they're going to spit out all the mistakes or dumb shit you ever said or did. They'll be like, see, you're not perfect. Throw them into the grinder. I'm like, oh, dang. Everybody's trying, everybody on social media all the time, and everybody's guilty. So, like, shit has been no fun in 2018, and the weather has been weird. And every time I just want to say, oh, yeah. So one of the things I thought was weird, and so I surprised myself with, was I never thought I'd get all into weather. I don't know. It just seemed like, well, not on the level that I did. And so the fact that I was like, oh, hey guys, I don't know, in 2017, we're going to get hit by hurricanes. That was the first time I did that. I said, we're going to get hit by 2 or more. And it happened. And then I did it again this year. I was like, hey, y'all, we need to take this shit seriously. We need to get better. We're going to get hit by 2+ hurricanes. And I put the number at like 4 or 5 in my mind. Like, I don't want to get into like, oh, it was a tropical storm. But like, yeah, dude, we were getting fucking nailed all the time. And the rain bands are getting crazier and bigger. But these are changes. And so you can almost clock it in the sun and the planets. Inconceivable. Whoa. You can clock it to the planet formation. There's almost no way a scientist can get up on stage or, like, if you were going to, well, look at that. That's badass. You're going to debate me on the, like, how much all the planets being on the same side affects things. Like, that changes shit. Like, there's no way you can beat me in a carbon discussion, especially if I get to use videos and visuals to explain to people clearly, unless they're being distracted. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So, it's like a clock. As these things move around, the weather's going to change and the coast is going to change. But when the planets balance themselves out again and you have more spread out, then it's going to calm down. So we just have to work together to make it through a period of like a decade. Build 7 cities in safe places, clean the oceans and the rivers. Figure out how to work together, and then everything's gonna be super badass, and we'll build these cities of the future. It's like you can build a modern quote-unquote pyramid right up to the ocean, and then you can go inside and make it with the, like, 3D printed glass, and to where you can stand there and watch the hurricane come in, smash. You know, you can make a bunch of cool-ass shit instead of retrograding backwards as a civilization where, like, they took away my space shuttle. Seriously. And here's proof that I don't think voting is going to work. Because every man I know, every was a kid as a boy, whether it be Clinton, Reagan, Bush, Obama, Trump, and we all wanted jetpacks, we all wanted space shuttles, we all wanted to, you know, fly a jet. And so the fact that like they're the alpha male, the alpha omega male, whatever you want to call it, like the man's man, the dude's dude that used to exist up until like, I don't know, the mid 2000s. None of them ever wanted to put a fork in our space program. None of them ever wanted to be like, oh yeah, I'm canceling the space shuttle. Oh yeah, here, just more pictures of dirt. Oh yeah, we're going to hand our entire space program to the robots. I mean, to me, that's like the same thing as, I don't have a girlfriend. Don't have a wife. It's like saying, yeah, I'll let the robot handle making love to my woman. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna let the robots handle space exploration. Doesn't make any sense. The fact that like space agencies, it's not just NASA, dude. You got the European Space Agency, you got India Space Agency, you got Germany Space Agency, you got Russia Space Agency, you got Japan Space Agency, you got China Space Agency. The fact that none of them have a single telescope up there, even like a Walmart GoPro up in the Lagrange point 1 pointed out into space at 10 frames a second. Like, that's the elephant in the middle of the room. Like, what is going on? Are we going to get thrown in the volcano like all the civilizations? Or are the reptilians coming to eat us and they're seasoning us with hate and anger? Or it's like Avengers 4 and Game of Thrones. The next season. And my suggestion has always been that we work together. Oh yeah. To like deal with the earth weather changes and turn everything on earth into a romantic comedy where we all work together for the future. I know it sounds crazy, but everybody's crazy, but people are talking about politics, so I'll talk about crazy stuff. So yeah, if you built 7 cities, 7 super cities, on the continents and cleaned the oceans and the rivers and the lakes and took great care of the animals, which we've killed like 60% of them since the 70s. If we all did that together, everybody would have a job and we'd all get health care and then we'd all get to live in this cool shit as we built it all together. Like we could give up war, like give up the fight. Like you go back to the pyramid-y people. Like they built all this cool shit. I don't know, but like I said, if it's aliens, I don't like losing. It's hard to plan against aliens. Like if the core of the galaxy is going to show up in a giant spaceship the size of Jupiter, what chance did I have against them anyway? You know? Me all by myself. I didn't think they were going to D-wave all my friends completely out of my life. That did catch me off guard. I was supposed to have a badass rock and roll band by now. That did not happen. Although I've had 2.7 bands and we've written like 30 songs. Just never gotten to play out live on a stage. But whatever. Even though Venus is retrograde right now into Libra. Amber Khan says nostalgia. It's a form of depression. And I agree. But is that Putin? See, that's my secret crazy wish, is that technically they're all working together to bring us the future and world peace so we can make cool shit. Because they were talking about the Clintons, and they were talking about Trump in the early 90s, man. We had a space shuttle in the early 90s, man. And so now we're still talking about the Clintons, and we're still talking about Trump. And they took away the space shuttle. What kind of shit is that? Can't we all just work together? Best THORNEWS video ever. Oh man, it is Halloween, so I can say crazy shit like, oh yeah, part of my costume was. See, we just spray paint it. We gotta get better at sculpting and carving. And I'm sure there's cool shit everywhere. It's just hidden from us. Crazy. But I think if you throw the people in the volcano or sell them out, you lose for sure. Whoa, that's crazy. So yeah, I don't know, man. We built cooler shit thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago. Italy is underwater. I should stop this video. That way people aren't coming to it like, am I getting hit by a hurricane? Damn it, tornado. You know what it is? It's that we still got a month of hurricane season. So that's why I say hurricane instead of tornado. Oh yeah, so that shit is crazy. But like, that is water. Well, what are we gonna do about it? And UN was like, you got 12 years before we're dead. These coastal city people. People are like, I don't have time to talk about that. The media is telling me who to blame. And apparently I'm gonna solve it all by voting. Like, great job. Okay. So yeah, oh yeah, the Leo King was talking about having his YouTube channel, 50,000 subscribers. How like, holy shit, me and my wife, we're under attack all the time, nonstop, constantly. It's like, yeah, dude, the politicians and the social networking and all the media and everybody really is like primed to be angry and mad, and then point at displaced aggression at other people. And so I talk about this being the big stage, and Dave Chappelle talked about the big stage too, where anytime we step on this thing, and that's what YouTube is, that's why they control it. Anytime we step on the stage, somebody's going to be mad. If you say anything that disagrees with what they believe, they're going to get mad at you. They come across you and they're like, I'm mad. I'm like, oh shit. So pretty much anyone, especially in the truth community, which usually likes to attack itself, you know? Like, oh no, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm like, dude, the only thing I'm right, you're wrong about is I'm right that we all have to work together. If we're going to survive through all this, top to bottom, as above, so below, we got to do it together. And I think anyone that disagrees with that, yeah, you're totally wrong, bro, ma'am. Other than that, that is the core. And everything else can, the common ground that we can lead to. Anyway, so the quote-unquote truther community, gold is the golden, not the same thing. Attacks itself, but other than that, I know that me, and I would guess Dabu would say, hell yeah, I'm under attack all the time. I would guess suspicious observers would say, hell yeah, I'm under attack all the time. Dutch sense, hell yeah. And all I'm trying to do is like, oh man, I pull up rain bands and pressure and space. Like, if you try to go against the narrative, you're under attack. So dang, it's like all we gotta do is figure out a way to get the message through. And here, oh yeah, by the way, if like prizes meant anything, I'm a badass. People like, I'm quitting, your ego's too big. It's like, well, A is like the only reward. That sounds bitchy and whiny. I shouldn't say it. It's probably not true. Definitely. I'm lucky. I'm talking about, oh yeah, I had to get this thing to draw. Like, I'm THORNEWS, man. I got a lot of data sitting there. It proves at least I don't know everything, but I got a lot of good ideas. But this is the atmospheric river thing that continues to show up time and time again. And it moves across Mexico, up across the entire coast. And so it is going to continue to cause problems for all the places. And I think if you had the team on it, instead of pointing everybody, oh, it's just carbon, trying to figure it all out, thinking it could be a little bit of everything. We could figure it all together. We could all work together. Like that whole caravan thing. Like, oh, the nations, the invisible lines we draw between all nations, those are really important. And apparently somehow hooked up with, I guess you put it in the render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. We're like, well, shit, Caesar has invisible lines between all the nations, so we got to respect that shit more than life itself. What's he talking about? Oh, yeah, collapse of compassion. Anywho, so you have a bunch of poor people. So you got exploding volcanoes in Mexico, Guatemala, and then Mexico. Last year, especially last month, you got a bunch of earthquakes too. What I'm talking about is crazy Halloween guy. Oh yeah, so all these poor people from the volcano territories where it's also majorly flooding. I know that right from here, this area has been getting flooded out bad again and again. So you got a bunch of poor people like, help, like the spirit of God or political campaigns, either way. You know, like all the poor people are headed to America, like a Neil Diamond song saying, look, we'll take anything better than we got. And our shitty ass war on drug policies have not worked for the people, but they've done great things for profits and control. So all the global powers took advantage of the South American and Mexican labor and natural resource laws while you guys argued about who is greater, socialism or capitalism. Socialism, where they give it all away to the corporations and then say the people get it, and then capitalism, a few of the people get it, but then it goes to the corporations. I don't know, pretty much the same, except for in capitalism you can have a $21 trillion debt. People like, socialism doesn't work. Well, technically in my mind, being the generation that got saddled, like here you inherited $21 trillion worth of debt, everybody angry, rock and roll is dead, comedy is dead, and movies are all remakes from the 80s. And people are still talking about the Clintons and the Trumps just like they were back in the 90s, because there's been nobody cooler on earth. There's been nobody more powerful. There have been no more Jimi Hendrixes or like new Beatles. Oh yeah, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is the new Beatles. That's cool, man. I just wish rock and roll would return. Rock and roll is amazing. I know you guys are probably tired of me saying that. But then the sun says it all the time too. Good, 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 good vibration. Now I'm just acting crazy. Oh, there's the square box. We're all crazy though. The information's been bad for a while. If I hit that point home, is anybody still here? How crazy is the chat channel? I don't even know. Anyway, we got a spaceship, Star Trekky. There's a platform. Whoa. It's a crystal ship platform. That's cool. I never regret being nice. I never regret not hating people. Yeah, it's wild. Who knows? The aliens could be good guys. Yeah. So, but yeah, the rest of the storm, you guys, that's going to be a nasty storm. And if that was just one little cell that had the potential to spin up tornadoes near Houston, I think it's going to grow back, by the way. Oh, yep. Live silence is a weird thing. I'm going to have to stop this. Change the title to something less. If people are looking for good information about tornadoes in the area, this is not going to be a good place. I didn't plan to go crazy, but it's been a crazy month. It's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy life. And everybody's angry. And you still got a week left before that stupid ass election. Where everybody's like, everything's going to be saved. We all voted. We're all heroes. We're all John Lennon. We voted. We have put an end to war. We have won the war on poverty. We have won the war on ignorance. We have won the war on racism. We have won the war on homelessness. We have won the war on starvation. We voted. And then there's always like, your opinion doesn't count because you didn't vote. And I was like, yeah, I'm still upset that they blew John F. Kennedy's brains out and then canceled the space shuttle and stopped talking about Venus. If I would like global space agencies focus to at least a more collective planetary approach before they send 10 more rovers to Mars, like, hey, what about Venus? Hey, what about Mercury? Hey, what about Jupiter? Hey, what about Uranus? Hey, what about Pluto? Hey, what about Saturn? Hey, what about Neptune? Hey, what about Ceres? Hey, what about Vesta? Hey, what about Eris? Hey, what about Sedna? Hey, what about Comet K2C 2017? Hey, what about Orion? Oh. Okay. What's it talking about? Oh, yeah, voting. Just give me the weather. But I did, if people are in hurricane danger. And so I'm here. Bing. And if we are getting possible tornado action here, then here are your bear claw symbols. The Wolverine, like, oh shit. That's all you need right there is there's the Wolverine knuckles showing that this storm is definitely going to be able to put out tornado-y spikes through, and we always see that the people who usually suffer the worst damage are the poor people. And as Planetary Defense Commander and Norse Christian Jedi, I stand up for the weak and those who cannot defend themselves. I haven't done that great of a job of it the last year or two. Yeah, poor people get fucked. But because the larger groups with all the power and resources can buy and attain more of the narrative, then they continue to pit poor people, middle class people, low class rich people, medium class rich people, and non super rich people like disposable players on a chessboard. I'm like, dang it, I represent all the people and all the animals in the planet itself. So, oh yeah, people like Thor was a bad weatherman. Like, well, hey, I'm your planetary defense commander, and so was it the 60% thing? Yeah. And it doesn't, like, the Atlantic's now questioning that, like, have we really killed 60% of animals since 1970? Like, dude, you gotta, I don't even, you can't percentage the shit. You just gotta look around and been like, all right, since they depegged the dollar from gold in 1971, and pretty much we're allowed to, like, have as much money as they want off the books. Have we treated the animals and the environment and the poor people well? You know, how fair have been the system? It's a giant system of a collective of groups. So how fair has it been over the last, 50 years? Which is weirdly enough, 7 years after JFK got murdered, then we depegged the dollar from gold, the petrodollar, and then it became the petrodollar, really. And so since then, since we turned the dollar into the petrodollar, which would make it a global currency, because the nation actually gave up its right to print its own currency in 1913, and so it gave it to a council or a corporation or however you want to call it, a group that would then make the decision of the largest global currency in the world. And so, yeah, I mean, and stability has been maintained from the 70s to now, over the 50 years. But 50 years later, we got a lot of problems that are still here that were never solved in the last 50 years, or really in the last 5,000 years. I'm not preaching, I'm just talking. I'm saying, like, yeah, I don't know, man. When I was looking at as your planetary defense commander, the idea, like, in Florida, you could build, with today's technology and the strength of resources we can create, you can build, like, the pyramids of the sun right out in the ocean. And then put, like, I don't know, I guess at least 3 stories underground. Or whatever. And then you could provide safe and cool. You could do shit like that, but you're gonna have to. That's why I like building a brand new city in new places. But what I'm just saying is, we're dealing with 5,000 years worth of problems that haven't been solved, man. If you think somehow voting is gonna make a giant dent in this 5,000 year system here, I don't think voting's the way to go. Comedy will help. Rock and roll will help. Good ideas, good thoughts, wishing good things for people, believing that God is great, the thing that created animals, the thing that created Earth, the thing that created the sun, is a great creator, and justice always finds a way and balances itself out. Love always finds a way. Life always finds a way. Science can't explain why puppies and kitties are so cute, and they just are. And to me, almost all animals are super cute. But I like paws and eyes, faces. Almost every animal has cute paws, eyes, and faces. Except, birds, wings, but wings are cute too. But not as cute as paws. Okay, but wings are cooler, more heroic. What am I talking about? Yeah, so I was lucky to grow up with horses and dogs and cats. And so in the last, 10, 12 years, the family and I have lost, maybe 4 or 5 dogs and 72% of the horses. And because my mom and stepdad were getting older, my stepdad who passed away this year, they didn't restock. So I watched a lot of animal death up close, real personal. And when I was living in Houston before, and they had the big BP oil spill, and there was a lot of animal death that was around here after that, I got all mad. And so it's just like a long process of the 2 laws Jesus Christ gave us is love God above all else, which to me is easy because God is like the great creator of the universe, everything, the glue that holds it all together. And then Jesus Christ was the cool, badass son who taught us how to be great throughout whatever we endure. And then the second law is love your neighbors, your family. Or love your brother, or doing to him as you're doing it. And that is harder. So even if I, as Planetary Defense Commander, I'm like, all right, I give up on humanity. I give up on people. I still have to stay in it for the animals, dude. I'm Sagittarius, half horse, half man. And the animals have always been good to me. We've had a great relationship. And so, you just bypass the people, since they are not going to show up at the bargaining table with the corporations and the religions and the aliens and the super smart creatures and the D-waving interdimensional demons and whoever's at the bargaining table for all the things that are around in our solar system. The people of Earth don't seem to want to realize they are the people of Earth, and they're not getting good bargaining positions here in the grand transition. So if they aren't going to show up, all right, fine. But the animals, I still got to represent the animals. That's all I'm saying. Because even throughout, like the Egyptian, any culture had some that was anything, had a respect for the animals. You know? You got to have respect for the animals, the planets, the sun, the moon, and in my opinion, your fellow man. If you want to get shit to work well, that's how you do it. And we've been doing this for like 5,000 years. Let's become Civilization 1. Man, I'm a bad salesman today. And, oh yeah, I got to stop this video because people are probably coming looking for tornado weather, and the weather's going to be fucking crazy right now. You know? Like I said, I don't know. If you step on the stage, especially this week before the election, and say, all right, I'm going to talk to you about anything, people are going to get mad at you. People are going to hack you. If I step outside of the door, people are going to, like, I don't even, whoa. And so I've just been trying to, I don't know, survive, put out as little up until the election. It's like a week away. But I'm like, fuck, I got rent, 3 days. Well, what are we going to do? Anyways, yeah, no, but no, it's going to be, I'm only one man against 7 billion people that are focusing on whatever the hell social media or the TV or whatever tells you to. Apparently, a lot of the people are focused on exactly the election. And it's like a cold civil war of the mind. And it's been real witchy the last month. Witches. Spells. And you have good witches and you have bad witches. Because creativity is magic. Creation is magic. There's just shit we don't understand, man. Everybody acts like, I got a social media account. I understand everything. But no, you don't. Nobody understands everything. Just like nobody controls all the weather. Ha. All right, whatever. So, yeah, I got to stop this. But I love you guys. Shit, did I make a big enough ass for myself? I think that's part of my job. Oh, this will set people off the rails. I got confused because apparently there was people who were upset about the Tree of Life massacre because some event, somebody, something, I don't know, religious stuff, like religious rituals, traditions, practices. I don't know, man. All I know is like I'm a Norse Christian Jedi. There are like 30,000 different Christian groups. You know, like literally, officially every Christian group. You know, I'm not making it to heaven, and like I'm not. You know, I'm a bad guy because I'm a Norse Christian Jedi. Like, I'm not a Baptist, not a Catholic. I like fail out of 99% of all the other Christian religions, even though I'm a Christian. You know, that's just how religion works. You know, like we're right, everybody's wrong. Anyway, so they've like been getting offended at each other. All these sects of all the religions, the top 3, and have been getting mad at each other and fighting a spiritual warfare for a long time. Since Jesus died, and even way before that, man. It's like there have been a lot of good people. It's like, I don't know, Christianity even shuts down, like, none of us allowed to be cool again. Jesus was the last cool dude ever. Nobody can do cool stuff. And it's like, what? No way. It's like the whole, oh my God, the devil's going to come and make everything awesome and then bring peace to everybody. And it's like, no, dude. Jesus said, judge a tree by its fruit. Anyway, what was my point? Oh, yeah, so people got mad at a prayer that somebody gave at, like, the Pence rally. I'm like, weird, dude. You know, like, I lost my dad in 2006, and I lost my stepdad this year. I didn't enjoy the funeral and all the energies and all the stuff around. I don't enjoy funerals, especially not their dad or stepdad. Anyway, I was just like, what? I don't even, man, I don't know. And so to have so many people upset about something, like if you gave a prayer to my dad or my stepdad or me or anyone in my family, I don't care what religion you are, who you are, as long as the prayer was good, I will accept it, take it. And so I don't know, to have people fighting about, like, it was just weird to me. And so all I know is, and, you know, like I said, every single race or color eventually, I guess, ends up being like, oh, it's their fault. They were the villains. It's like whether, you know, like the pirates of Africa or the white people, or it's the Jews, or it's the Germans, or it's the Illuminati. Like, there's always a group that is to blame for all the problem. So we know that the Jews have taken a lot of shit for a long time. If there's one thing I respect, it's their sense of humor throughout whatever the hell they're going through. You know, like, I was raised on Mel Brooks, and I think Jerry Seinfeld may be the guy who made me laugh the most in my life. It could be the Cheers crew. I don't know. And then Jon Stewart. And I'm saying that I've always respected the Jews' like sense of humor through almost anything. And it's not just it's a smart, wise sense of humor. And so that is how when I stereotype Jews, I stereotype them as being funny and having a smart humor and a love for their family. And so I guess that was the irony that I figured out, was like, shit, well, you know, I guess we're turning to the Jews to find that, man, Old Testament Torah sense of humor through it all. Well, yeah, it's going to be rocky, but we're going to make it. Because if there's one thing that our world doesn't have right now that it needs the most, it's the sense of humor. Everybody's taking themselves way too seriously. And that the people who figure out who to hate or whose fault it is seem to be controlling the narrative, although someone's above them. Oh my God, I made the worst video ever. And I love you. If I went out, dude, I did my best. And I had a great life. I would have never traded places with anyone everywhere at any time. I've always been happy to be me, the T. My first name is the letter T. Although my birth certificate said T period, my dad thought it was one thing, my mom thought it was one thing. Everybody thinks it's something. But I know that my birth certificate said T period. It's T as in Thor, or thank you, or totally, period. And T's a powerful letter. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, I made the worst THORNEWS video ever, and just in time for my 3-day fundraiser. Oh, yeah, I got to end this, though, because people might be in this storm looking for actual live, important, on point, clear and succinct weather information, and that is not what I'm giving now. But I think I absorbed the tornado energy that was around us. So that is good. Though this storm, I think, has definitely potential to grow backwards, so definitely we are all on high alert all night long, baby. So smoke them if you got them. And we need more romance, too. But I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to think about that. Yeah, this shit's crazy. There's a mask. It's a wolf. So you got a wolf. Yes, I love you. I'll keep trying. Okay, I'm about to be a jerk for Halloween. I'm warning you now. I'm warning you now. The weather's coming around. channel your best, Lieutenant Dan, and do the best that you can. God is real and you are good, and everything is understood, but not by me. You're like you see, all the planets are on the same side. Everything in the sun looks like asteroid spaceships. Wait, you know what? Oh no. Man, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with that? What's up, Jack? You don't like this? Oh. I got it under control. And I'm growing. Oh no. It's Halloween, and this is my costume. Yeah, it's Halloween, and this is my costume. Don't you worry, things will get better soon. Asteroid video game shape, asteroid video game shape, coronal hole in the sun, coronal hole in the sun, asteroid game video shape, coronal hole, dancing mode. What are you wearing? What are you doing? It's like light deep in the night. We're all on edge. The future is but I'll be okay as long as you're near. Oh. What? Oh yeah, shit. I'm being in deep trouble now. I'm gonna read this later, and people will be like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Animals and dead. Animals are dead. You wanted a horror story with Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate this thing called life. If you wanted a horror story, well, here